Hello, everyone! Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief. I do see on the feed it says that we are live. Oh, there it is. YouTube now page has kicked in. So my apologies there, everybody. I was blabbing away for about 2 or 3 minutes. And when I looked over at the YouTube studio page, it just simply said that I wasn't recording. So when I saw that, I hit the full stop button, and we tried again. I do see somebody is typing away with their microphone on, so just be aware that OBS is picking that up. So if you are typing away or coffee cups or things like that, it is being recorded. So. Somebody's asking if the sound is good. I guess that's Kavark. Maybe that was Kavark who was typing there. I see PMA
that was
Bull
me.
Alex. Hey, bud. PMA Bull Alex, you are over there on YouTube, I guess. I don't know. Can you hear and see us loud and clear? I've been noticing YouTube's been giving us a little bit of challenges. I think it gave Grim a few challenges over the weekend. But can anybody over there just report that YouTube page is doing its thing? Just before we go headlong into the future. Let's see. Good morning, Earthling. All right. Hey, there's Will scrolling through
Ace is all
Brian's
good.
big bots.
That was so confused. Sorry, I was really confused because I couldn't hear any sound, but it was streaming.
All right.
But I think we're good.
On YouTube. PMA Alex says we're all good. All right. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate that. Okay, so there's kind of a funny start to your week, eh? Crazy. I don't really want to keep them too much longer, and usually I spend about 5-10 minutes at the beginning of these videos doing some ranting. But since, of course, 9 times out of 10 he has Pennacooks on the Pennacook, today is Monday. So why don't we just jump right on over into Sjord's world and let him tell you a little bit about development from the, I guess, TRICTO perspective. And also, too, if he happens to want to comment about anything he's seeing in the market, we'd love to hear what he's got going on there. So I'm going to stop screen sharing. I'm going to pop on over to Sjord's world. We will put this screen on. Oh geez, look, that setup's working nicely. Sweet. We will put Sjord's screen on the screen, and we will F11. You have the floor, sir. I'm going to put myself on mute, so just tell us a little bit about how things are going for you and what's on your mind.
Yeah, sure. So last week I was talking about that we have onboarded a front-end person with not only front-end but also UX and UI skills, which is something that I'm just lacking, and my colleague Iwan as well. No offense, and we don't really enjoy it either. So past week is mostly about getting her up and running, understanding what the system does, what TRI does. It would have been easier, of course, if it was someone from within our community. But as it turned out, it was very hard to find someone with a lot of free hours, or well, not just free, but available hours to work on the front end of TRI. So we're now working with a freelancer, and it's a girl actually, and she's starting to produce or basically transform the design from Paz, one of our community members for the screeners, to a static HTML, CSS, and later on we will do that transformation to make it dynamic. It's not a job that needs to be done before we will release the screeners out of beta, but it's something that runs simultaneously, and that will just have an enormous positive effect on using the screeners, especially for new people. Like if you don't know what you can do with a MACD or an RSI, well, that's very basic, of course, but I mean, with the conditions and the groups and all that, it's very hard to create your own screeners. And this new design facilitates the user in that a lot better than what I've built now, which was more like a click it together, very advanced mode. So instead that we started with the simple mode, we started with the advanced mode, and now we're building the simple mode in front of it. Getting up and running and getting started on this project as well. And overall, she will also do suggestions and other maintenance and all that kind of stuff, fix mobile issues all around on the website and on the member section. Furthermore, I had some small articles that I wanted to present that you may or not be aware of. Like tonight is the WWDC, which is an Apple event. So it's always good that if you are having some Apple stocks in your portfolio to maybe tune in the event and see what they're up to. Personally, I was interested in this event because I hoped that they would release a new MacBook Pro 16-inch, since my current one is a little bit outdated with 4 years now. But as it turns out with the latest rumors, they're probably not going to introduce new hardware, but only new software around the OS X platform at least. Another interesting fact that I heard today was that Tesla is no longer the #1 electric car seller in the Netherlands, but actually they have switched turns with the Skoda. And I must say, I see a lot of electric Skoda vehicles driving around here. They're cheaper, and the build quality is kind of like the same, maybe even a little bit better for the cheap models. And overall, they're looking just as appealing or not appealing. It's an opinion, of course. But fact is, they're selling way better than Tesla now. And I was wondering if this is a trend that we will see continuing in other countries. And of course, BMW and all the other car manufacturers, they are ramping up all the electric vehicles. So it will be interesting to see in a year or 3 years if that will have an impact on Tesla or not. I'm pretty sure it will. So maybe
I don't know,
it's not that
Colleen's
bad.
going on about something. Somebody can see the YouTube page. I see Sjord's picture of his car on the YouTube page. Can someone confirm that, please? I don't know. What do you? What's Colleen
It's good
seeing?
now. Oh, okay.
All right.
So yeah. Okay. And another interesting story that I read this weekend was actually from this guy, and I wanted to ask if somebody knew his name, but I see there's a little hint that you can't really miss in the browser tab next to this one. And I'm going to probably butcher his name, but I guess I'm allowed to do that since everyone butchers my name. So Zhongcheng Yu, if that's correct. I was reading this article about him, and it's so fascinating. So this is one of the, basically he was a high employee at ASML, the semiconductor manufacturer in the Netherlands. And they also had this division in the United States. And Zhongcheng Yu was located in Silicon Valley with his family. But as it turned out, he basically stole a lot of secrets.
Uh-oh.
And he also hijacked basically all higher, well, not all, but a lot of higher ranking engineers from the company and started his own business in China. Left his wife and kids behind, and he's now a wanted man in America, so he can't come back.
Wow.
And ASML has a bit of an issue now because they sued him. In China, what I was reading was that they said, well, if he gets convicted because of stealing those IPs, it's basically a fine of maybe a few $100K, which is of course laughable. and ASML is with their back against the wall because they can't really go hard on China either because it's one of their biggest clients and markets. It's just so interesting that he basically stole worth of 100 million of secrets, including code and all that. And of course, the company that he started, a semiconductor company in China, is now bringing out some promising semiconductors, and they now get funded by the Chinese government because they want to get independent from other countries. This was just, yeah.
The only problem with this is he won here, but now he's actually sealed his fate. And
yes,
the worst part about this is it's like short-term game. Please, TRIers, anybody listening to us, don't fall into this trap. I mean, hell, I see it just even in the crypto space, where people throw enough money at you and their morals become corrupted. The problem now is he's made a deal with the devil. What happens if his Chinese masters say or do something that he doesn't like? What happens to him?
Yeah,
he's screwed. So this is real. That's sad. That's really sad.
Yeah, and his family is still in the United States.
That's twisted. So he would just basically feel comfortable sacrificing them, eh?
I guess. I don't think they are not allowed to leave the.
Well, that's interesting. Am I still connected? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We just lost you. Probably best that we don't dwell too much on these sensitive issues. I wouldn't even be surprised if Google doesn't even like people talking about this kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's just. I think it's interesting to see that there's now basically a call on China as well to make the penalties a lot higher for individuals stealing property, but at the same time they also want to get independent. And companies here that are having China as a big market, they don't want to get too aggressive because they might lose China as the big market.
Well, that's just it. And the worst part about this is the Chinese market is not really that open to foreigners.
No.
So they keep dangling that carrot.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to come in on a joint venture? And a lot of Western companies fall into this trap with Moscow and Russia, and then because they're totalitarian dictatorships, they can come along one day. And this gentleman here, look at what happened to Jack Ma. I mean, all of his work that he thinks he's doing in China, making this fortune with this new company, it can be taken away from him in a heartbeat. It's terrible. If anything, I kind of like what's happening here, though. I mean, it sucks for Netherlands, don't get me wrong. But at some point, hopefully, we're all going to wake up and go, you know what? This Chinese relationship's not working. We have to try and rewrite the rules here. And maybe what that means is we in the West actually go back to doing things like actually manufacturing stuff ourselves. And breaking this model of being dependent on this totalitarian dictatorship and their sort of their whims with us, because man, this is bad economics.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how this story goes, and it really hits home for you being a local story.
Yeah, and it was interesting to read like a very big background story on this.
And how's the local media interpreting this? Do they give a shit, or are they being told to keep quiet about it?
Well, it's a bit silly to say, but I think where I'm reading this over the weekend is really like this quality newspaper that's kind of not trying to make it colored. So they're just bringing the facts. It sucks for ASML, but they're not going.
Is it a publicly traded stock?
Yeah, it is.
And what's the stock doing? Is it getting destroyed?
No, because this is a story that's going on since 2015. But it's getting just more details, and details are coming out basically.
Oh well.
So
I mean, the funny thing is, I'm sure the Chinese would probably find 10 stories about Western capitalists that have come in and done nefarious things inside their country, and they'd say this is just tit for tat.
yeah,
So,
here you can see what it's doing.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Insane.
isn't that interesting? So the stock itself is going parabolic.
Yeah,
Fascinating how all these divergences here. So, people that are long, you're probably politely getting told to watch out. There's probably a dip coming.
yeah.
But
I
maybe
mean,
that dip is a buying opportunity. Who knows, eh?
It's there's an issue with semiconductors everywhere, of course, and they do have a leading technology in the world. Just a bit of
Do
a
they?
bummer it got stolen, a part of it.
So maybe that's what this is more about. Is their tech is like super duper high tech, cutting edge stuff, eh?
Yeah, exactly. You can't replicate it without years of study, and that's also why it costed 100 million to develop. I mean,
Well, if anything,
you
this
just-
might be a great opportunity where, somebody like Biden can actually sort of deflect the sort of, we got to bring China in line. He could deflect that argument and have the Europeans actually be the initiators of this over this case. That would be the smart political move here, I think.
yeah. And
Jesus,
I
look
mean,
at the size of that thing.
these are the kinds of machines they're making. I bet you can probably mine a lot of Doge with it.
Question is, can you mine any Luna?
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, Luna.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of which, I found it interesting. I added the 9 EMA and 18 SMA again on my charts.
trend following. This is sort of like an institutional moving average study.
Yeah, exactly. And you can see that we got our warning here around the 16, and we're now hovering around the 6.3.
Yep.
And it's just in a no man's land, basically. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a buying window, but we are, to be honest, just following BTC. I still like the idea, and this would make sense taking in account the BTC picture as well, that we might have get like a relief rally to that 50% level around the 11, 12, maybe even a little bit higher, testing that structure of this very big M, and see what price does over there, and then tank lower again. But the signals are just so mixed.
Yeah.
So I've put myself on a DCA plan again. Just like what I did with Bitcoin, I'm doing it again with Luna.
That's smart. I think I bought some on the TRI Trex account. Doing
Okay,
the same thing over there. Well, hey, great minds think alike, right?
Exactly. Because what I'm seeing here is like this on its own is pointing bullish for me. The fact that we're oversold is well, not bullish, but I mean is encouraging to find an intermediate bottom maybe. But of course you have to see this breakout here and not be this flat and trending down. And the RSI, of course, it is going up, but we're still below this midline that I like to watch, and we're not putting in a new W in here yet. But you could see that if we would W in here, that would be a pretty big W, where one could maybe do something like this. I don't know, or something like that, maybe. Could even do it a little bit neater and pull the target down a little bit more. But that would bring us around that market structure breakout level again. So yeah, in the bull scenario, why not? In that scenario, there's still a lot of air to the downside, because we did came from a 20-70 cents range. And if you look at the what's happening with the supply, because the Luna supply, or sorry, the UST supply is still going down. That means that every day a lot of Luna is added again to the ecosystem. Here you can see that. And that's just how it works, right? Exponential up, exponential down. But at the same time, a lot of initiatives are starting.
The key there is, when do you start seeing a W in the what's it called, USDL or US? What do they call their tether thing?
UST.
Yeah, they just call it USD.
UST.
Yeah, UST.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
UST.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
UST. So when do we see a W in this? When you see a W
Yeah.
in this, then that's probably when the Luna price itself stops going down.
Yeah, and here you can see the decline in UST. But my hunch is this will switch back up pretty soon, because all kind of initiatives are launching now.
Oh, that's good.
For example, Yoda. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's someone discovered this today. It's some kind of credit card as well. And you can do savings and all that kind of stuff. But then if you go to their page that I was on just now, they say earn 5 times more tickets with the crypto savings bucket. 8% implied API on average. And then you start reading, and then somewhere around here, you see Anchor, which is a Terra protocol, which is the savings protocol that gives you 20% interest a year. So it seems like now more companies are starting to maybe use Anchor in the background to yield a 20% return themselves on the user funds, and then pay out 8%, making a nice 12%. So you get all these kind of white labels, wrappers, services around it.
Are you throwing a big whack of money that TRI's got into these Anchor things?
Well, we do have some stuff in Anchor Earn yielding us 20%, and we are staking liquidity providing Anchor tokens as well. So we're building a small position, basically the dollar cost averaging as well, by just keeping the half of the rewards.
That's cool.
But that was a nice catch of someone.
Somebody told you about that?
Yeah, I saw it on Twitter, and you can also see the Terra logo in here.
So
and here you can see the Terraform Labs.
So basically, people are layering on top of the Anchor, eh?
Exactly, and that, I mean, if you have enough rampons, that will, of course, then drive the usage of the UST stablecoin again, because that's used in the background, and that will eventually make Luna go up again.
So it's we should probably be watching that USDT chart like a hawk for a W in that thing.
Yeah, because then you will see if new money gets in the ecosystem, one way or another. So yeah.
Maybe even put your institutional that chart's is that chart. I wonder if that chart's on TradingView, or if you could get that data set, and then put your institutional moving average system on that chart, and it'll probably give you a pretty good cue.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah. Of course, it's against USD, so that won't give me anything. I need the market cap. I don't know if that's possible, actually. I see Ewald is asking for a quick tutorial about.
That would be gold, dude. Those are the kind of videos I'd love to see you work towards doing down the road. Is like helping our, like, and I heard that Farmer Dave is back. He just had another kid. Congratulations, Dave. Way to go. He's like super jazzed in this space. Julian is too. And if you guys could put together a cute little tutorial video for people on how to do this on the site, that would just be sick.
Yeah, I can do that. In the meantime, there is Nachos, but I will make a video as well. This is such a bad search term. There it is.
Nacho. Oh, this is for Terra and Luna?
Yeah.
Oh. I heard somebody talking very badly about ADA yesterday in crypto land, saying it's just a real sort of piece of crap.
About
ADA?
ADA.
You know,
Cardano?
EDA? What do you think about Cardano? Do you think it's kind of meh?
Well, I believe they will probably finally launch their platform over the next 100 years somewhere. So
Okay.
that sums it up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and I have asked you. You're such a damn smart insider in this industry. I mean, keep an eye on new ideas for us all to be paying attention to. I heard some other guys in the cryptoverse. I was watching one video yesterday, and this guy was just going on about how in love he was with Luna. So obviously, you're definitely heading down the right direction here.
And here you can see the total value locked on the multiple blockchains overview. And if you then
Solana,
compare,
that's that Solana. Man, I hear everybody talking about this Solana as like a Ferrari or something. I don't even know what the hell Solana is.
it's just another one.
Is that
But
just another one?
yeah, but it's
Isn't that
definitely an
interesting?
interesting
So
project. It's
Terra
not comparable
actually,
with Cardano.
Terra is actually 2.5 times the size.
Yeah.
Isn't that fascinating? Huh. Well, if you want to put some more TRI money into this Terra and Luna and shit, got my blessing. Just just be nice and diversified and just slow and steady wins the race. I reckon you got your nose to exactly the pulse of this space, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I like Solana a lot as well.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do. I don't have a position in it, but we can maybe try to start doing that ourselves. I believe they can do like 100. No, I believe it was 50,000 transactions a second, something like that.
Wow.
So it was pretty much built for speed. Yeah.
We can start working some
No hurry,
reloads
yeah.
on bids and shit. There's no hurry to be
No.
buying any of this stuff here right now, but I don't know anything about the fundamental story, and I heard one guy, I don't know who the fuck he is, but he just kept going on. I mean, the guy is a serious hard-on for this Solana thing. And so I was like, gee whiz, I guess we ought to try and pick up some.
Yeah.
I can see, I mean, this actually is so cliche, right? So I can see a bearish A, B, C, D that's going to take us down into reload zones. You just got to be patient. There's no hurry.
From this one.
Yeah, there to there, and then clone that. And my hunch is I would actually do this backwards. And I would go, I'd say, okay, probably if we got a stab against those lows, you see all those lows from back there in March, maybe that's a big liquidity pool. So where does that mean a counter trend rally should take us? Yeah, so I like a counter trend rally up into there, then a dump down against the lows, and we should have a bunch of bids working down below.
Yeah. Which let me set an alarm right away.
Yeah, actually the Binance, we used to have a whack of money on there, so maybe we need to fund that account. Can I buy this on Trex?
I'm not sure where it's actually listed, but why not? But this might also give us.
You can't do this thing through your DeFi stuff. Like, are you doing the Luna stuff through the DeFi?
Yes, but I mean, eventually, like if you have certain assets in the ecosystem, in the DeFi ecosystem, you can just move them around there. You don't need to go to the central exchanges anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, frankly, aside, in my opinion, Binance, if you want to get into the circle jerk, centralized cryptocurrencies and that nonsense, great, stay on Binance. If you want to do the derivatives, great, be on Binance. But I get the feeling if you want to be a part of this crypto story, centralized exchanges are yesterday's story. The future is this DeFi space and not even interacting with any of these exchanges, in my opinion.
And the biggest issue why I'm still using these central exchanges is because of the ramp on and ramp off. But I guess when there's more and more built up on top of it, they get less and less relevant.
I thought it was interesting. I heard that, Coinbase has just staggeringly high profit margins. Like they're charging pretty high fees and commissions.
Mm-hmm.
And now Robinhood is actually trying to go after their market, and they're offering like zero fees and zero commissions. So I think what happens is that the retail business is just going to get more and more and more diluted. And I can't see the profit margins increasing in that business space.
And Galaxy behind Coinbase, they injected, or they invested back then, 25 million into Terra, and the founder of Robinhood basically is also one of the investors in Terra.
Yeah, I could see Novogratz. He really likes your Luna.
Yeah, and shout out to him because he was spot on. He said at the 21, don't forget to take profits.
Did you? At least a little
No,
bit?
I didn't. He did. Perfect. But I'm all good. I still like
whatever
this.
it's worth, I sold his stock, and then he came out the next fucking day and said, "Hey, I'm buying my stock." So, great respect for Mike Novogratz, but he's kicking our ass.
Yeah, I know.
Jerk.
This is also what I'm watching on Luna. Until the time I'm just dollar cost averaging a bigger position.
Well, I do like coming in on the buy side now. I don't mind that.
Yeah. So
how's your LTO looking these days?
They had a nice push up, and now they're just going sideways, I believe. Oh yeah, not that bad.
Oh, look at that RSI! Damn, that was sweet.
Together with the MACD and the W out of oversold.
I think I gotta go buy some of that shit. Look at that. That's what does it look like versus BTC? Is this on? This is on Trex, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Didn't we also get a fill around 40 cents?
Pardon me?
Didn't we also get a fill?
I've been buying. I want to buy some more. I mean, look at that chart. Look at I'm one of these guys that kind of likes this letter of the alphabet W. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before, but damn, what the hell's going on here?
Against BTC, it's fine as well.
Yeah. Do we have that on Trex, or is it just on Binance?
Oh, I believe it was on Trex as well.
Well, I guess I gotta go do some buying, eh? Let's see.
Maybe not anymore. Oh well.
I seem to recall. I think I gotta do this on Binance, but anyway, that's good to see. That looks bullish.
Yep. Okay, I'm next week. Heads up, I'm out on the farm for a few days.
Oh, score!
So that's our yearly family trip. Sitting and sleeping between cows and horses and all that kind of stuff. Just trying to relax a little bit and live the farm life. So very much looking forward to that. But I might be squeaking out for a week.
Okay. Luna we bought on Trex, but there is no LTO over here, so I guess we must have to do that on Binance.
Yeah.
So if you want to go throw a little bit of extra capital, I don't mind loading up on the LTO down in here now. I mean, maybe don't chase today, but we could throw in some stink bids right at your moving averages there or something.
Yeah. Nice cross.
All right. And I think, I even sent a message to Sjord this morning, and I'm, FYI for everybody. Got bids working on ETH, got bids working on Bitcoin. We've got, we got quite a bit of cash on the Trex account, so I want to get that back in the market. LTO here, if I see W's, I start to get interested. The Luna, there's a bunch of names. I got my Shitcoin 5000, so I like the idea over the next, say, 4 or 5 weeks, just slowly accumulating shit for the summer rally.
Yep.
And what I also like, too, which is really cool, is I can't believe how quickly the sentiment in the space is just falling apart. These people have completely lost confidence. They've just like abandoned ship. It's great. So it's perfect. Yeah. I can't believe how negative everybody's gotten. This is so perfect.
You should be buying. What was it again?
That's right. when they're wiping their what do we call them now? Allen dog tears.
When they get to the hideout on the farm, that's when you should be buying.
Yeah. Well, you know what you should do, which would be smart, is just sprinkle in a whole bunch of just stupid bids. Just in case, just in case we have one of these funny weekends where they really go and break the crypto kids' hearts, like a Bitcoin at like $100 or something. Yeah. Like just for fun, you never know in this space. I know Shane and Andrew did really well. I know you like to trade on Kraken, and I think it was a year or two ago, they got just some insanely cheap Bitcoin because one day the marketplace just shit its pants. And you had one of those insane nutso tail candles. I feel like an event like that could come along here, guys. So just be aware and put yourself in a position to take advantage of it.
Okay.
And don't be in a position that you're going to get margin called because of it.
No.
Sorry.
No problem. I'm going to hop to the pancakes because I hear someone downstairs.
Okay, Mr. Pancake, take it easy. And I guess what you're saying is we're going to hear from you 2 weeks from now.
Yes, that's correct. But I will be on the site anyway. I can't control myself.
Okay, so and yeah, before you take off to the farm, if you could maybe just have backup people that we can reach out to if the site does crash.
That's all handled. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Excellent. All right. Off to the Panacook land you go. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the presentation. PMA for the win. And hugs and kisses to the family.
Bye for now.
Ooh, nice segue. Perfect. All right. Thank you, Mr. Panacook. Always fun to check in with Sjord. Little day trader room, I suppose. We actually, one of the reasons we got started a little late here today was because, and actually I haven't even been looking at the YouTube page. I sure hope it didn't crash. Get all excited looking at Sjord stuff. I totally forget I'm supposed to be driving the bus here. And yes, I know, Kevin said, well, Brian, I could do it, so why the hell are you still doing it? And it's sort of like Brian's like, well, I'm an idiot, so what the hell, eh? There you go. Merry Christmas. CCP owns who? CCP owns somebody? Oh, boy. Look at that. What do you got here? Oh, yeah, we were talking with Sjord about his buddy from China. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, good to see people on YouTube chit-chatting away. Hope you're getting good value out of the edutainment. I actually really am enjoying. I was up at, I don't know how you guys are doing, but living up here in the Pacific Northwest, the sun does really weird things here in the middle of the summer. In the middle of the winter, so I was up at about 4:30 this morning. So hanging out in the day trader room, and actually I really like this whole process goals objective that I've given myself. I woke up this morning, like I said, and the first thing I'm supposed to do is just sort of map out what my potential expectations for the market are going to be through the day, and that's at about where are we here? There's midnight, so that was the London kill zone. Market was ramping up here, and I had no choice. I just had to leave it alone. If anything, I started to get bearish divergences and momentum indicators being overbought, so there was really nothing I could do here. But at the same time, too, I mapped out what would a bullish scenario trend continuation look like. So then, with this backdrop, sort of right about here, right? I said I got up at about 4 or 5 o'clock this morning. Then I popped in down to the 3-minute chart, and I just simply said, all right, I will sit and patiently wait So 430s in here, 9 minutes over by. You can see the bearish divergences. Willie's stupid, RSI and overbought. So can't touch this here. Got to let the market open up, and of course this is the New York kill zone in here. Remember, London actually opened up down here. So ironically enough, I think like the institutional players, they're long from here, they're short from up here. So New York kill zone opened up. Remember, 9-minute charts pointing higher. I am thinking bullish. You can see the W, but can't touch this with this looking like this. So market comes back down. Drew up reload zones, and we just sat and watched the trade develop. Market came down into levels, so it's like, okay, at this point, Willie's nice and stupid now. W's are starting to come in. We had really cool sort of, market footprint. We were having great conversations about what potential bottoms might look like. And we had a really great conversation against these overnight lows. Had a cute little gap, this dotted line that needed filling. We also had candle body low for trade location. We had bullish divergence in things like Willie and RSI. Not really the best momentum indicator in MACD. It's a bit suspect. But hopefully you can see, and basically in the room, like I said, really want to focus on process goals. Frankly speaking, I couldn't give a rat's ass whether this trade makes or loses money. But when we were sitting right in here and we were seeing this candle trend rally, I drew out my sort of squiggly line theory. What did I think this bottom trade might look like? And basically the market set the trade up almost exactly as I was anticipating. So it was kind of like, if I didn't take this trade here, it's like, what the fuck am I even doing here? It's a waste of time. So I don't know what's going to happen. But what I would say is, based on this trade, there's my profit objective. I do like the idea for this trading plan that at 50%, I can move my stop to scratch. So I'd still be taking the original risk, and I'm actually risking against these overnight lows, that London low. And in essence, I'm just playing this market. Now, unfortunately, because I am day trading, I do have to have this position closed out within the next 3 hours. So if I can have the move stop to trailing level, or 50% of the anticipated move stop to break even level hit, great. But right now I still have open-ended risk, and this thing might top out and just completely crap out on me. But as it stands, I thought this was interesting just coming into the daily brief this morning. The reason why I was late, because this setup literally fired right when the daily brief was supposed to start. So we were kind of preoccupied there, and that's basically what's happened here. I think because this has moved so close to that 50% level, I think on balance, why don't we say that if we do come back below this entry level, we'll just hop away on scratch on this one, because we are getting kind of late in the day. But on balance, this is basically a day trader's life. I mean, there's really nothing new going on here. And really, my job is I just want to make sure I just follow best practices. I waited for all the divergences to come in. I waited for the level, got my double bottom at exactly where I wanted to go, and here I am. I'm long. Woohoo! So I was really pleased to see, and I really like the group. We seem to have a really cool cross section of different types of traders. Some momentum traders, some just scalpers, some position traders, some strict setup traders, some level traders. It's great, and also too, of course, because TRI, PMA, and all that. I think they're generally a pretty good group of people. And if anything, the only troublemaker in there is me. And everybody puts up with my nonsense. But every once in a while I have a funny joke. So on balance, I think the group has appreciated me being a part of it. And I have to say I really appreciate the group. I'm really proud of you guys. So just keep on keeping on. Now that the group's up and running, and Kieran's got all the prop machinery and stuff all running along. Really now it's just a question of just showing up. Just every single day, just doing your job as a trader. There's Craig. Craig's an excellent participant in the room. Like I said, and the cool part about it is we got another new term of students coming down the pike. I couldn't believe how big these classes are getting. This is insane. So that's going to mean we're going to have a whole slew of new traders joining the crowd, right? So, and what I really liked was I glanced over at the YouTube page halfway through, and people are like, "Whoa, this is so cool! What an interesting perspective." So even thank you, Kevin, for recording the sessions and us just showing what does a day trader's life look like, and what are the silly banter and stuff that Beamish likes to do. And it would be exactly the same thing. I'd be doing exactly the same thing at Top Step if I was sitting there, or if I was sitting in some brokerage house in the bullpen just trading away in the bullpen. Anyway, it's trader's life. Lots of fun. Stock market in particular, what was sort of my observation? How are we going to say this? It feels like the summer market sort of situation. And of course, it's great to hear on Tuesdays now, Kiran and Daniele will give you sort of a report. Kiran sort of picked up on this, and he talks quite a bit about it with his community and the level 2 class. Just really understanding the nuance between the summer market and the winter sort of business market. You can really feel it's very summer markety in here, which hopefully is good. Just as long as we can get just a couple positives behind us. Once we get into sort of like end of June, beginning of July, all the tax loss selling pressure from people like from Australia. There's a big budget sort of bill that needs to be passed in the States. If we can get all that stuff done, we just get a little bit of a nice push, then actually the summer market, that's where we've made lots of crazy money in crypto over the years, because it's sort of fun, silly, and it's actually really easy to push prices of assets in crazy directions because most of the pros are in the Hamptons. So I think we still got to get through this July period. I don't know what the heck this is going to look like. I mean, you can see we're just starting June. Could we sort of muddle around here a little bit, a little higher, a little lower here and through July? Yeah, I could definitely see that. It's not like there's any great hurry. And you can see summer market, things are kind of just stalled here. Individual names, we're taking a look and sort of building positions for the summer silly season. So lots of little W's trying to come in here. Oh, interesting, Kevin. Your little test is trying to perk up here. This Pixie, man, it's up and down like a horse George, but good to see on Friday they bid him up. AHT, we've been talking about this thing. Beautiful looking bottom. You can see there are a lot of bottoms that are trying to come in here. Is this the bottom? I don't know. It's probably like a week or two. Like I said, maybe even a month away. But we're getting closer. Going to slowly step in and be buying stuff on a daily basis. Look at this little one. Beautiful double bottom there. Mollasolin Biotech. I think that was the name that we were kicking around here. You can see I got it on the watch list, but I haven't pulled the trigger there. I know MSN, this is one that I know Kevin kind of likes. He'll probably be talking about that with you on Wednesday when he looks at his list. SGBX, look at that cute little cup and handle trying to come in. I mean, there's a bunch of them. They're all looking at like they're bottom end of the range. Are they going to be turning in here? We just got to slowly wait for that. I think I heard Kevin said that Jamie is sort of back around. I guess he had a little bit of life issues, and we all do. Is what happens. So maybe we might get a report from Jamie on some of his names. On balance, I don't have any reason to touch any of these. Sell halves on doubles, so most of these are all just free positions now. But wouldn't mind hearing from him. Let's see. Anything else that's really jumped out at me today? I did see there was this one here, CETX. Look at that cute little W that's that actually just is coming in today. At the bottom of value too. So that one sure looks interesting. Very interesting trade location. You can see nice juicy gaps. This gap still hasn't totally been filled in up top here. So, anywhere around that $1.20 area, if you want to sneak in there, maybe hunt that tail down in there. Nice little pullback into that level on a down day. You might be able to get some good stock there. Should probably keep an eye on the EVU and sort of, yeah, look at that thing right there. I think I've been talking to you guys about this recently. I mean, that one looks like it's trying to get ready to go here. I still don't know what they do, but I know this is one of the ones that Kathy Woods and all her sort of fans were interested in this one. This nano dimensions. These are like biotech sort of robots. Don't really like that formation. I do like this though. If you are a buyer, that does look interesting. I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. Probably has to come down here a little bit more. You know what? I can take that off. I don't really like any of that. It's interesting. Oh, hello. WKG. This one's been perking up a little bit recently. I guess it's just sort of coming back to life here now. Anyway, I did pick up some of that. I think down at like 12 cents there a week or so ago, but chart doesn't look right. Something doesn't look right about that. Sky's been working its way higher. Can't touch that now. And probably a really good example. Why can we not come in and buy these when they look like this? Keep in mind, my sell half on a double level is 25. Actually, I might even have gotten a fill up there. Because here, Jugger's a good example. This thing went zooming up. But they usually come zooming back down. That's why you can't chase. You're fucking Bitcoin, right? You know the story. So, you might want to keep an eye on Jugger over the next month or two. We get back down into the bottoming area. Might be worth taking a look at. But as you can see, I don't think there's a huge hurry on any of this. And the little value names, they're the ones uppy. Everybody else is sort of nothing to do on the big U.S. stocks I'm in. Got some options. Big hurry up into nothing. Meme stocks are catching a bid, so that should be good for crypto. Silver, I noticed, was up today, but gold wasn't so. So interesting. If you think that and believe the economy is strong, you should see silver outperform gold. So that's this conversation. If this is pointing up, then it means gold's doing better. If it's pointing down, it means silver's doing better. So you can see we're at a real crossroads here. Is this a strong economy? If it is, then this M will come in here. It will fire, and we keep heading lower. That's what you want to see if you're a economy bull. Nothing really to get too excited about there, though. But interesting to see silver's outperforming gold today. And the gold is a million miles away from where I wanted to buy it here, so I can't even think about buying that. Nice to see little shipping stocks. I noticed a lot of these little shipping stocks are looking very uppy. Also noticed that the uranium names, actually this uranium name, I'm in it from down here. But I actually don't mind trading this as a bot. 158, looking to double your money there. Maybe wait for a pullback against this W here to get in at a good level. But it's sitting there. There's another uranium name. I noticed David's uranium name looking strong. This is an oil stock, and this is also another oil stock. Still look very uppy. So I think energy's still hot here, which means we should see the metals calm down a little bit. And David's also, he had this uranium warrant that he told us about way back here, I think. So he said that he's not in it anymore, but it's pointing higher. So that is that. I don't really see anything going on too big in the warrants for me today. It looks pretty quiet. Have a interesting presentation that Peter put together. Totally didn't expect it on these SPACs. So we just have to figure out what day is a good day to do this for you. It's a fairly long presentation, so it's probably going to take up the better part of a daily brief. The question is, what day do we do this? I'm going to have to think about that. I asked to just review the material with Kevin. So, Kevin! Come on! Sorry. Had to get it out. So he and I'll figure out what's the best day to do that, when and where, and when to give it to you. Notice that, one thing I noticed, and I think this actually should be predominant, is that usually in the early parts of the presidential cycle, value stocks outperform, and I noticed that Zach's value stocks are very chunky up. Like, look at this one, GLMD. Look at that. Damn. Awfully tough to chase any of these things. I think we were talking about that DGLY off of this double bottom, but you can see it's just rocking. And you can see, like, look at this BCLI. Hey, yeah, that thing's getting ready to pop here. So Zach's value names look really good in here. And even, like, Zach, if you're watching this, we got to figure out a way. We got to get back into this thing. We did have some options. We sold half on a double. The free options expired worthless, which happens a lot in options. You have to appreciate that. So we just got to get our original capital back working in this thing, because I think this thing's got a lot higher to go. So. And I do own the stock itself. So we did pick up a little bit of this Land C Homes. I do like an ABCD. It looks like it's pointing up top. So if you're in this thing, make damn sure to have open orders to sell halves on a doubles working. All right. Actually, these are some names that Josie gave me. Geez, look like he's firing on all cylinders. These are these crazy SPACs. Look at that son of a bitch. And this Solo W. I don't know whether I'd chase that. I don't really like to look at this, but this one looks interesting down here. And of course, I already did buy this one down off that double bottom, so I'm feeling good there. So we actually have a lot of these SPACs on the books that we're following. And we have that presentation by Peter that we have to give you guys. So lots of SPAC stuff coming down the pike here. As for crypto, I mean, the problem here is you look at this chart, it could easily break one way or the other. My hunch is, I have to think of this as, unfortunately, and this isn't a bad exercise for you to do yourself. How do we say this? Who's going to be inflicted the most pain if we go one way or another here with the Bitcoin price? And unfortunately, especially names like that Doge, right? Are there people that are long this thing that maybe could go through a little bit more pain? Would it be good for them to feel a bit more pain in the short term? Like, is there any reason why the asset has to go up in price, or could it maybe come back down? I mean, gee whiz, weekly 200 SMAs down here at 12 cents. Ugh. So, Doge is clear. This one here, I hate to say it, I mean, everybody should look at this chart and go, gee whiz, this looks like a boom boom AB. Kind of like what I showed with Sjord's crypto names, right? CD. I mean, gee whiz, you guys are going to hate me, but believe it or not, moved it right back down here, or down to this original breakout level. That's pretty normal for markets. Not really out of the ordinary. The only problem is just the massive price swings. And I just don't think enough people in this space appreciate the fact that this is an unregulated marketplace. Does that mean that prices of this asset could be manipulated? Fuck yeah! And I don't understand why more people don't understand this. I listened to a podcast yesterday, these people, and I appreciate that they have the best intentions and they're all fucking rah-rah capitalists, blah, 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 blah. But I didn't hear a single one of them actually talk about, downside projections. All I hear is, especially from the cryptoverse, about how wonderful crypto is and how much money you're going to make on the long side, blah, 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 blah. So as a result, I think a lot of these people are still long, and they're still heavily long. And we're not even outside of this June-July window. You just heard me ranting about what I think is going to happen in the stock market. Why would crypto be any different? I don't get it. So there's nothing really to get too excited about on that chart. So, as I had said earlier, I mean, like I said, you guys aren't going to like this. But I've actually started to get some serious buy orders working. I'm willing to step in size. The only problem is I'm willing to step in size quite a bit lower than where we are right now. So I wanted to find that. Well, I know I posted it to the team. Here is Ethereum orders. These are orders. Right? That's in there now. I got an order to buy 10 at 10G or $1,000. Well, I'll throw 10 G's at that. I've also got my 61.8 Mountain Man stink bit still working, and really all this is 78.6. And I'll probably be more than happy to go in and buy another 10 G's worth at 78.6. And you're all going, oh, fuck off, Brian. It's not going down there. Same thing on corn. Now, this is going to be cool, man. If I can show in history where I sold my Bitcoin up here and then put little green buy orders down here. Oh, that'll look so fucking cool. But remember, this was the Doge, and I just wanted to monetize it. So I sold all the Doge into Bitcoins, and then I sold the Bitcoins into dollars. Doesn't that look cool? That looks fucking cool, man. I gotta say, that looked... When I saw that this morning, I didn't even realize it, but when I saw that, I was like, oh, now that's demonstrating best practices. So I like that. Anyway, so you can see I've got bids. There's my 25,000 bid. That's been sitting there for a while. But really, we should come back and check that high. I don't see why not. So I've thrown in a big honking bid there to buy, what is that? 17,000. And actually, that's even expensive. Like I said, I don't have a problem going and throwing another bid right off of that 13,000 area. No problem whatsoever. And if anything, to justify the bull case to 100 whatever plus thousand, I think actually it would be better if they did just rip this straight down. Everybody and their brothers completely lost all interest in crypto. It's all a scam. It's all a fraud. Joey Diamond's right. And I like buying into that kind of environment. It was painful for me to have to sit there for fucking week after week after week listening to people saying TA's not important, W's aren't important, indicators aren't important. Well, now they're getting schooled. So, did find it interesting this morning. Shitcoin 5000! I love my little Shitcoin 5000s. Not really anything egregious, but I did see one or two of these names jumped up here, like this SRN. That's got a W working now. What the fuck? This is supposed to be a piece of shit. Garbage. It's supposed to go to zero. What are you doing? You're going the wrong way. Whatever it's worth, I got my sell half on a double orders working up here. If I get my double, this goes under the win category. So I'm actually surprised it's happening as quick as it is. This guy here, I got filled down in here, so he's just actually just twiddling his thumbs. Anyway, so lots of fun. I'm not touting any of these things. This is Shitcoin 5000. You understand what you're getting involved in if you're playing with the Shitcoin 5000s. Did find it interesting. What letter of the alphabet is that? Is that in good trade location? Is Brian just talking to himself? Hello? No, you're supposed to say most times. Nah, so Colin, you have to understand, the only reason why Megan can get away with that is because she's a lady. You boys, shut the fuck up. It's entirely up to you and your plan, Will. This is price versus dollar. So really the way I would say this is if you were going to trade this, clearly there's the W. And kind of like what I just showed you on that funny little S&P 500 trade. Same sort of thing. I would actually, just as sort of little sports car trade, go something like that. Just be like, man, live by the sword, die by the sword. 2 to 1 is a good sort of starting point for risk reward. we'll taught level oneers. You kind of get taught that by Grim. Hopefully, in my pre-recorded lectures, you hear a lot of that as well. Can't fine. Well, we'll just leave it at 2.1. And I mean, I showed you there on the SPYs. I kind of like the idea, and Grim sort of got me into the habit of it. If you do, kind of like the bot, if you do have 50% of your anticipated trading, well, I guess you might argue you got stopped out at scratch on that one if you did that. But I really don't mind if you are chicken shit if it goes zipping up here to maybe even that 66%, maybe lock in profits. Mind you, this is awfully small. I think that happens so quick. That's a tough one. I'm not quite sure how I would interpret that. I like the idea of going boopity boop, boopity boop. Yeah, there's 50%. So we're going to force ourselves to shoot for that. And then maybe this now, 50%, move stop to maybe scratch. Kind of like that thinking. That's kind of cool. Whether you take this trade or not, I couldn't give a shit. That's not what I'm trying to get at here. What I'm trying to get at is what'll end up happening is one by one by one. This one moved relatively early. Remember, this guy was sort of ahead of the pack. Everybody else was jumping up, and I noticed that this guy started to come to life back here. And so one by one by one, so this was basically the end of last year, beginning of this year. Look at that beautiful wide breakout. Boom. One by one, these things will start both finishing their corrections. I've told you guys before, I so often see markets ultimately will bottom off 78.6. Maybe that means this has to come back down and play a little bit more here. I don't know. Maybe we go top of value. But they will slowly. This is what now we call climbing the wall of worry. And even something like this, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes all the way up there. So, I don't know, it's crazy, but don't see any reason why you can't shoot for a nice stab all the way up into here. So, this is sort of the first signs of life. And you'll just see day by day by day, slowly these things will all start to W out and start to point higher. So, stay focused, right, over the next 4 or 5 weeks. Kind of the same thing what I said with the stock market, like this LTO. Day by day by day. The ones that actually took off first, remember this guy went first. So day by day by day. That's a fucking buy right there. Did I not mention when Sjord was talking, I was like, holy shit. I mean, that's a buy right there. That's a fucking buy. That's goddamn drugga. You fucking drugga. So there you go. I mean, I think I'll probably leave the video at that. That's incredible. Okay, I think I'm going to try and stop talking now. So have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day. PMA for the win. We've got, what do we got? Today's Monday, so tomorrow we have Kiran and Daniele with their futures trader update. And maybe following that, and then Kevin and I, we're going to meet a little bit earlier tomorrow and review how we're going to do Peter's presentation for you. So, other than that, we got a free video that Kevin and I will do here shortly, so a little bit of sort of broader market rant. But other than that, have yourselves a great day. We'll see everybody in the lounge. Great job. Of course, level 3ers now. Level 3ers, you can actually officially request to join the harmonics room. Stephen did a great presentation there on Saturday. Kiran is marching away through level 2 material with Marat. And of course, Grim's kicking it with the level 1ers. So actually, man, everything's just humming right along. Okay, everyone, have yourselves a great rest of your day. All the best. PMA for the win. Don't take no win to goes, and bye for now.